Yeah, I'm gonna ask everybody to silence their phones. Is IT ready to do the?
Yep.
Okay, very good. I call this meeting to order, and I note the presence of a quorum. Note, the following items require action by the board. Approval of the minutes of the February 29th, 2024 meeting of the fund, number 2425. Are there any amendments to the minutes? Pardon me. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
I think the conference room is muted.
Oh, they don't hear us?
They don't hear us.
They don't. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for letting us know.
Now they hear us, or?
I'm not sure. I'm waiting on confirmation from the control room.
Do you hear us now? No?
Good afternoon.
Yours, select us.
Are we muted or
Can you hear us
I
now?
think the conference room is muted, Senator. How you doing?
Did you ever see
Thank you.
that?
How are you?
Do this. Ask
Great to
us,
see you again.
Where are we?
great to be back in the district?
That's 200.
Good
Hi,
afternoon,
everyone.
everyone.
Now grab the remote.
Hi, Assemblywoman.
Hi.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we're-
Recording in progress.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to ask everyone to silence their phones. Okay, IT is ready to go. I call this meeting to order, and I note the presence of a quorum. I'd like to note the following items require action by the board. Approval of the minutes of the February 29th, 2024 meeting of the fund, number 4225. Are there any amendments to the minutes? Any discussion? Okay, I'm gonna ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Move second, okay,
Move to approve the minutes.
thank you. I'm gonna call for a vote. All those in favor? Any abstain?
Aye.
Yes, I'm sorry. Aye, okay. Motion carries unanimously. I will now move on to the second resolution. Resolution of the City University Construction Fund to authorize construction for the campus-wide building automation system upgrade at Queensborough Community College, number 2526. I will now call on Executive Director Mohammed Atalia to give an explanation of the item.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Queensborough campus-wide building automation system upgrade project includes the replacement of the entire building automation system for Honeywell, Trane, and Johnson Control Systems, and will be integrating the new system into a unified control system. The upgrade incorporates energy-saving measures that will bring CUNY closer to meeting the energy-saving targets and will also bring the system to a state of good repair. Construction would be managed by DASNY and is anticipated to commence in the summer of 2024 and be substantially completed by end of 2025. The program management agreement with DASNY requires DASNY to comply with and report on the applicable MWBE and SDVOB goals. Thank you.
Thank you. I now call for a motion on this item. Please.
Motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion or any discussions, questions, comments, or concerns? Yes, Senator.
Yes. Oh, I have a number of them.
Sure.
In terms of the role of DASNY, and I ask this, I have great respect for DASNY and the work that they've done in so many areas. However, I've been reading recently about the work that they've done with the Office of Cannabis Management, and I find a number of the stories, particularly one today, troubling. And it talks about how they were managing or having difficulties in setting up the Office of Cannabis Management, OCM. Was there an RFP issued or some method of competitive bidding to select DASNY for this project?
Senator, the competitive bidding takes place to choose the vendors who will be working on the project. But DASNY, since DASNY, they don't deliver the projects themselves, they engage vendors who are specialized in this work. So to answer the question, we don't get DASNY to bid competitively, but the vendors who would be delivering the work, they engage in an RFP process.
That was the problem with with OCM, the vendors. Couple of other questions. So there was no, you automatically went to DASNY to administer or to supervise the selection of vendors and to manage the work that the vendors do.
Yeah, that's correct, Senator. And as you know, and we had this discussion in the past at CUNY, we are working with our team to enhance our capabilities to be able to undertake and manage projects through CUNY. And I have or our senior people, Dr. Dimitri Kates and Mr. Pedro Sanchez sits to my right, the directors of engineering and the construction lead, and they are working extensively to work with our team to undertake and manage projects via our team more and more in that direction. So,
I noticed that this is approximately $11.5 million contract. What part of that, how much is DASNY being paid to oversee the management of what we discussed a moment ago?
yeah, DASNY generally they get paid for the administration of the work a lump sum by the state. Like when the budget is enacted, there is an amount of dollars that is provided to both CUNY and DASNY to manage this construction project. So DASNY gets an amount, I believe, in the vicinity of $23 million from the state to manage our project.
How much?
About 23 million.
I'm sorry,
About
23 million to manage all of the projects.
Correct.
So it doesn't come out of the individual capital appropriation.
That's correct, Senator.
Oh, okay, good. Let me just look. I have some other questions. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Can you explain in simple English what this automated progress, what it does for the college in a sentence or two?
Yes, but building automation systems are the technology, the controls, the computer systems that controls the HVAC system, the heating and ventilation and air handling units. All of these systems have valves and actuators to allow for the heating.
Okay.
So the building automation system is the brain that controls the entire campus.
Right. Now, I assume that there are other colleges in the 30-some-odd colleges that comprise CUNY. Is this a system-wide problem, or is it localized just to Queensboro?
We have several building automation systems in the CUNY family that needs replacement, and we are working in phases or as funds is available to replace some of them as we move forward.
Would it be possible for there to be an overall umbrella kind of contract to save money? A system-wide agreement? Because I've always said that I think SUNY and CUNY certainly ought to combine costs and try to, get a better price out of mass purchasing.
Yes, you're correct, Senator. Usually, when we have a bulk purchase of a component, that for sure we realize cost efficiencies, and we, as I said, based on the available funds, we pursue that. And currently, our Director of Engineering and Chief Engineer is looking into that as we move forward to develop a policy and approach to be able to gain more efficiencies in this type of work.
Thank you. Thank you. Those are the questions I had.
Okay, are there any further questions, comments, or concerns? All right, hearing none, I'm gonna ask for a vote. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries unanimously. I will now move the third resolution. Resolution of City University Construction Fund to authorize the increase of budget for the academic building at New York City College of Technology, number 2427. I will now call on Executive Director Mohammed Atalia to give an explanation of this item.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This project is completed in 2018, and it's a complex, state-of-the-art structural ground-up facility for the college's clinical health and sciences program. This mixed-use facility has classrooms, computer labs, science labs, a 1,000-seat auditorium, physical education facilities, administrative offices, a nursing simulation lab, and a dental hygiene clinic. In order to close out this project, the construction manager has forecasted a total budget of $357 million, which is $7 million over the approved amount of the previous $350 million budget that was approved. This additional amount is due to a combination of factors, including, for example, existing conditions, design coordination, and scope of work adjustments as outlined further in the resolution. All changes to the original scope of work are reviewed by the construction manager, who advises on the appropriate value of the work done by the subcontractors, and also prior to the approval of a change order would be reviewed by CUNY construction team. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'd like to call for a motion on this, please.
Motion.
Motion, thank you. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I have a couple of
Sure,
questions on this one.
absolutely.
Sure. So it took 8 years to build? Start to finish? I think the original appropriation was 2010.
Yeah, but by the time the project started, it wasn't in total 8 years. I believe it was less than that, maybe like about 7 or 6.
All right. Don't they normally in a contract have a built-in percentage for overruns? It's all part of the original contract, or I should say the original resolution. My understanding that you build in 10% for this kind of situation.
The original budget, yes, included a percentage of contingency, but what we're discussing here is, due to that several factors, the contingency, this is amount that requires over and above the allocated contingency.
I think what the senator was trying to ask, and tell me if I'm incorrect, Senator, is that when the initial allocation came in that budget of what the project was going to cost, was a certain amount of money held aside for contingencies. So if 350 million were initially approved, was the project initially supposed to cost 320, and the remainder of the money was held, for usual overages? Is that what you're asking, Senator?
Absolutely correct. Thank you.
And yes, and that's correct. This is how we understood the question. And as I stated, yes, there was contingency allocated originally in the original budget, However, the overall project did surpass this allocated contingency, and hence this is why we're asking for the additional fund.
Yes, please.
Forgive me for my first question.
Not at all.
Included in these changes, I really would like to delineate the scope changes. For example, you mentioned that the terracotta panels were added to, but some of these others are a little bit confusing. So I would love to see the difference between actual scope changes and, things
Sure.
we didn't budget correctly. So
Yeah, sure, we could provide that.
that'd be great.
Are there any other questions?
Yes, I have a couple.
Sure.
Where will the TV studio be relocated?
Pedro, you know?
We will get back to you on that, on the exact relocation.
I just think it's
Yeah,
important.
please do.
I just think it's important at a college of technology that students have all the access that they need. So I'm just curious where it'll be relocated. That's all.
Understood.
Okay, are there any more questions or follow-up?
Yeah, I'm just curious about one other issue. We are obviously concerned about declining enrollment. Has the enrollment at the college improved as a result of this 357 million new building for additional programs? In other words, was it worth the money? I
Thank
mean,
you,
I think
Senator.
it is. But I'm just curious, what do the numbers show?
Thank you, Senator.
Can you get back to me on that?
Yes, we can get back regarding the enrollment, yes.
No, I think this should be marketed as state of the art, particularly the terracotta. And used to improve the enrollment at CUNY.
Any further questions or follow-ups? Okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna call for a motion on, oh, we did that. Okay, I'm gonna call for a vote on this, please. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously. In terms of reports, the next meeting of the construction fund will be held on Thursday, the 27th at 2 p.m. The governance committee will meet on the same date at 1:30 p.m. Trustees of the governance committee are myself and Trustee Stavisky. Are there any further items of business before the committee? Okay, hearing none, I'm gonna entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Fine. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you, everybody,
Aye.
for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good afternoon.